I do this in my personals, but I don't usually do it in my generals, but I have been doing it this time. So we got the Four of Wands, right? So that's from the bottom of the deck. So that came from the bottom, from there. Now, I've been looking at what's underneath that. Why? Why is the Four of Wands your underlying energy? It's because of the Queen of Swords. It's for you. It's about you. Going up in the world, are we, Libra? Let's put that there. Right. So we have the Queen of Swords coming up with the Four of Wands. Let's talk about her first. That's you guys. Queen of Swords. She knows her truth. She might have gone through a difficult time. Air energy, right? So it doesn't have to just be Libra. You could be dealing with Aquarius over here. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We've got Cancer here. Remember, the signs don't own the cards. It just lend their energies or characteristics to them. But with this, you know your truth now. You're standing in your truth, speaking your truth. I get the sense that you're very clear on... There's a clarity here that I don't think I've seen in a while in a Libra reading. A lot of clarity. And she knows her truth. That's the whole thing with the Queen of Swords. She knows her truth. I love how there's always butterflies around her, especially in this deck. Because that's transformation. It's... The implication always with her is that you've gone through some shit. The Queen of Swords, let's face it, she's seen some shit. But she's turned that into knowledge. All of that experience... It's been turned into knowledge. That's why she's called the divorce queen, the widow queen, the heartbreak queen, because she's seen it all. She's been through it all. But it's given her this truth. And now she's not afraid to speak her truth. She's not afraid to stand in her truth. Nothing that she's been through has taken her down. So why would anything else, right? So beautiful energy to have coming in, reminding you of who you are. Now, where are you taking this? That's the whole point of your underlying energy. You have the Four of Wands here. You have the Four of Wands. Now, this can be a house move. This can be a job move. This is a change in the environment around you. But it is celebrating that I have a firm foundation. I have a solid foundation here. Where do I take this? It's very important. That's why we have a past position in the card. You know, when we focus too much on the past, that's where regret comes in. But this is not about that. This is about looking at it and saying, look at how far I've come. Look at what I've done here. And all of this top row says that to me. Made you who you are now. You stand in your truth of who you are now. And it's like, well, how do I increase this? How do I build on this? Where am I going to take this? It's getting bigger, better, larger. And I'm turning into a Daft Punk song there, I know. But anyway, it's that kind of energy, especially with the Chariot coming up there. Now, we have the World coming up at the heart of your reading. This is the completion of a major new life cycle. I don't know what you're up to, Libra, but it's big. You're changing things up. You're going in a different direction. You're building things, wrapping things up. The World card, and I've been pointing this out, especially in this deck. If you have a look at if it's reversed, the pose or the way she is there, it's like the Hanged Man, right? Changing your perspective. Something has changed. You have new knowledge now. You know something. You're looking at your situation very differently. And this is a victory wreath around this. I think a lot of you have made your peace with what's happened, where you are, what's going on, and you kind of know. And it's a very obvious thing to say, you know, when there's a new year, because people have New Year's resolutions, they have that hope. Next year is going to be different. This feels bigger than that because she has a plan. She knows. This is not about the Queen of Swords. This is not wishing, because we got the wish. This is like the wish card. This is wish fulfillment coming, but it's coming up in the past. Whatever you've been wishing for, whatever you've had hope in, whatever you've had faith in, I kind of feel like that's transpiring now. And you're coming back to a place of whatever this was, whatever that new direction was that you saw in the past. You're kind of coming back to that. I'll explain why in just a moment. But yeah, with this as the focus, you're wrapping things up. And this is that victory lap. It's graduation. It's like, hey, good job. Now, a lot of times when I say this, people look at the World and think, what? That was a victory? Because it is a victory card. You've got two victory cards here. It is a victory. It is a victory. You survived it. That's the Queen of Swords. You've gotten that knowledge from it. And a lot of times we don't actually know what we've learned until we get into a similar situation. And we do. Even if it's not with the same person, the same job, the same place we live, whatever. Even if it's something totally new. Everything gets revisited. Everything happens in cycles. And when it revisits, we're like, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to deal with this because I learned the lessons last time, right? In the last major cycle. A massive completion here. This really does feel like a new year reading. And if you know me and you follow me, especially on Instagram stuff, I'm not a big believer in anything truly shifting. With the years, it's got like a man-made thing for me. But this year, it feels different. And the fact that our human consciousness does that, we mark it as a milestone. That's the big deal for us. So if you're one of those people that does that, this very much ties in with that. So last week, last month, last year, with the past or the foundation energy, we have the star. So this is, you've gone through the healing that you needed to. The implication always with, where the Queen of Swords, the implication is that there's some shit that's been seen. The star card is that a tower moment happened, because that's the card that happens, is before the star in the major arcana. So whatever fell apart, whatever was destroyed, whether it's your illusions about something, whether your plans, your ideas, whatever, it's gone. It's done. Now that hope returns with the star. But the star asks you to pick a star. Which is your star? Because that's what guides you then, right? Now, I kind of get the sense that with everything, with these completions, with whatever's happening right now, you're revisiting an old dream or something that you might have been planning for a while or hoping for a while. Why do I say that? Because we have the Six of Cups. You feel ready for it now. You feel ready for this change, this shift, this new cycle that's coming in. And with the Six of Cups, it's nostalgia. It's nostalgia. It's that whole... I'm actually thinking of a Libra comes to mind who I know is going to be moving very soon. And if you think about that, this might be revisiting like the places that in the town that you kind of lived in, or thinking back, oh, wasn't that so nice? And that's the place where, I don't know, I met that person or this happened. It's that kind of energy. That's a very specific story. And if I see it, I will say it. But otherwise, when the Six of Cups comes up and we're thinking back to the past, we're looking back at this. Whatever that star was that you had focused on before. And you might have thought at the time that it's so far away. It was only hope that kept you going towards it. Now you can look back at it and think, wow, that I think some of you are revisiting that. And that's kind of inspiring you to go forward and build whatever it is that you're looking to build. Now, with the Queen of Swords coming up here, that's the other thing. You've made your peace with it. Whenever the Six of Cups comes up, we're looking back at the past with rose-tinted glasses. So even if things were difficult, which she says they were, it's like you've made your peace with it. You've learned your lessons from it. It's like, oh, I understand why that happened. I know why that happened. The Six of Cups can be us revisiting an old dream, like I said, or a wish that we had. Sometimes it can indicate someone coming back from the past. But, I don't want people to get caught up in that. You'd have an indication of this. She has knowledge. The hoping part is in the past. There's no more hoping now. It's about doing. It's about taking action. So it would be a part of your reality now. Because this is a card of reunion as well. So this could be, I actually did like it working at that job. Or I do like that career. Or I do want to move back to where my family is. Or, it's that kind of energy. This is inspiring us. Happy memories from the past. A kind of return of innocence. For some people, it might even be that, I want to grow my family now. I'd like to have children, or I'd like to get married, or, that kind of energy comes in. But it feels like whatever needed to be wrapped up in the old cycles, sometimes we want to move forward and we just can't. That's wrapped up. The world is saying that it's wrapped up. It's done. It is time to move forward. And this feels like that last look back, kind of like, when you're leaving your house, you're moving out, you might be going to the best place ever, but you had such happy memories there. I remember the last time I broke up with someone, and when I moved out, I was actually more sad about leaving that flat, because I loved that flat, where I lived. I loved that apartment, and I was very sad about that. But so it can be, is that kind of like one last look back. I had such happy memories here, but you're moving forward, and you are moving forward because you have the 10 of Cups coming up as a future energy. And sitting underneath the world, yes, this is the completion of that cycle as well. But the 10 of Cups, it's our happily ever after. It's our happiness. It's what we see as our heart's desire. And for a lot of you, it's sharing it with other people. 10 of Cups can be a family card, but family isn't just blood, right? It can be friends. It can be a new family that you're creating, whatever it is. Like I said, it's reunions. It could be celebrations. There is something to celebrate here, right? And if you have a look in this, we usually see this kind of family tableau, they're happy, the kids are dancing around, the couple's all loved up, and they're looking at their rainbow with the cups there. But we all have our own idea of what this looks like. For some people, it is this 2.4 children. For some people, it's that ideal home. For some people, it's that career, whatever it is. But we have an idea of it. And it feels like now you can move forward to it. And that's your advice. The Chariot. The Chariot is very much a card that says, hey, it's head and heart balanced. And I'm kind of seeing that here. I'm seeing that here. There's a lot of hope in this. There's a lot of that feel good energy of, you know, looking back, everything looks good. I mean, Libra, people can look at you and you're doing the whole kind of, oh, I forgot, what's her name? The opposite of a Debbie Downer, but I forget it now. But, you know, that you're so optimistic and so positive. But there's no pentacles here. So some people might say, you could get that from people saying, are you sure about this, Libra? That I don't really see anything. And you're like, well, I know. My heart's in this. I feel good about this. The hope is there. I've wrapped up everything. I'm ready to go forward. And the Chariot says that. Chariot is telling you all the lights are green. Let's go. And I've often get asked this by people that are studying the tarot, that why is the Chariot the card for Cancer? Why is it the card for Cancer? Cancer's all about the home and, you know, because this takes you home. Whatever that dream is, wherever you're going, wherever you're headed. And this could be travel. Moving forward, whether it's literally or this could be a road trip sometimes as well. Or, you know, but closing the distance, you're going for it. And the Chariot is saying that. That's literally your advice. Go for it. Use this. Now is the time. And it's that star, whatever that star that you had picked out, whatever that dream was. I kind of get, it's implied here that there has been obstruction. You've not been able to go for it because you were going through this Saturnian lesson, whatever it was. That's done. It's finished. Keep your, you know, eyes on the prize, you know, insight, what it is that you want to go for, what the happily ever after looks like, and let that direct you forward. Keep your head and heart lined with that. Victory is assured. This is victory based on your own efforts and determination. So this is about going for it. I want to make it very clear. It's not about just sitting there and waiting for something to fall in your lap. It's about going for it. Making your peace with everything that's happened in the past. Wrapping this up, enjoying the view from the top of that mountain that you just climbed and now going for that new one. And it's not a new one. That's the whole point. The dream is an old one. I kind of get that. Something that might have sustained you during your darkest hours. Time to do it though. Right, my lovelies. Let's see what comes up from the Oracle cards. Thank you so much for watching your reading. I love you guys very much. There is going to be a live outro later on today on the day that I'm posting this. If you missed that, I will link it at the end of this video once it's streamed and uploaded and the rest of it. I will see you next time, but that's all for now. Goodbye, my lovelies.